What comes to mind when you hear the term supply chain management in cybersecurity? A complex web of systems and protocols, or perhaps something else entirely? Let's take a moment to untangle this web. Supply chain management in cybersecurity, at its core, refers to the practice of securing all stages of the supply chain. This includes everything from the design, production, and distribution of a product, all the way to the management of cyber risks associated with suppliers and service providers. Think of it like a relay race. The baton is passed from one team member to the next, each playing a vital role in reaching the finish line. In this analogy, the baton represents the data or product, and the team members are the various stages of the supply chain. Just as dropping the baton in a relay race can cost the team the race, a breach at any stage of the supply chain can have serious repercussions for the entire process. Now, you might be wondering, why does this matter? Well, with the increasing digitization of operations in today's world, cybersecurity threats are becoming more prevalent. These threats can infiltrate any stage of the supply chain, causing significant disruptions. This could range from halting production due to a system failure to leaking sensitive data that could be exploited by malicious entities. Therefore, managing these threats effectively is crucial. This is where supply chain management in cybersecurity comes into play. It's about implementing robust security measures at each stage of the supply chain to protect against potential cyber threats. This includes conducting regular risk assessments, implementing stringent security policies, and continuously monitoring for any potential vulnerabilities. But it's not just about prevention, it's also about response. How do you react when a breach occurs? How quickly can you contain it and mitigate its effects? These are all aspects that supply chain management in cybersecurity needs to address. Now that we have a basic understanding of supply chain management in cybersecurity, let's delve deeper into its workings. Why is supply chain management in cybersecurity so critical in today's digital world? This is a question that has been echoing in the corridors of the digital sphere, and today we shall delve into its significance. In this era of digital interconnectedness, businesses are increasingly relying on third parties for a variety of services. This symbiotic relationship, while beneficial, carries with it a host of potential risks. The supply chain, a network that stretches from manufacturers to end consumers, is a complex web of interactions that is often managed by multiple entities. Each entity represents a potential entry point for cyber threats, and each one must be secured to ensure the integrity of the whole chain. Imagine your supply chain as a fortress. Each supplier, each partner, is a part of the fortress's wall. Now, if just one brick in that wall is weak, the entire fortress becomes vulnerable. Similarly, a single weak link in your supply chain can compromise the entire system, leading to data breaches. In the past few years, we've witnessed several high-profile data breaches that have been traced back to vulnerabilities in the supply chain. These incidents have underlined the importance of robust supply chain management in cybersecurity. It's not just about protecting your own systems anymore. It's about ensuring that every partner, every supplier in your chain is also secure. In fact, a report from the Ponemon Institute highlighted that nearly half of all data breaches in the last 2 years were caused by a third-party component of the IT system. These are alarming statistics that point to a pressing need. The need for effective supply chain management in cybersecurity. Think about it. The more entities involved in your supply chain, the more points of entry for potential cyber threats. The more systems to protect, the more complex your cybersecurity becomes. And complexity, as we know, often leads to vulnerability. So we can see how pivotal supply chain management is in maintaining a strong cybersecurity posture. It is about understanding the risks, fortifying the weak links, and continually monitoring the chain to ensure a secure digital future. So, how does one manage the cyber risks associated with a supply chain? Well, let's walk through the process together. It starts with evaluating your suppliers. This is the foundation of any robust cybersecurity supply chain management. You need to know who you're dealing with. This means conducting thorough due diligence on all your suppliers. You need to understand their security practices, their track record, and their approach to incident response. You're not just looking for a supplier who can deliver goods or services, but one who can do so securely. After you've selected suppliers with strong cybersecurity postures, the next step is to implement security measures. This could include things like secure coding practices, encryption, and multi-factor authentication. You will also need to establish clear policies and procedures for handling sensitive data. This is crucial because it sets the standard for how data should be managed within your supply chain. The process doesn't end there though. Continuous monitoring is vital. Cyber threats are constantly evolving, and so should your security measures. Regular audits and assessments should be conducted to ensure that all security measures are being followed and are effective. This means keeping an eye on your suppliers, making sure they are maintaining the security standards you've set. Finally, we come to incident response planning. Despite your best efforts, there may still be a breach. That's why it's important to have a plan in place for when things go wrong. This could involve identifying the source of the breach, containing the incident, eradicating the threat, and recovering any lost data. It's about being proactive, not just reactive. By following these steps, an organization can significantly reduce the risk of a cyber attack through its supply chain. It may seem like a daunting task, but remember, in the world of cybersecurity, it's always better to be safe than sorry. So, start evaluating, implementing, monitoring, and planning today, and take the first step towards a more secure supply chain. What methods can an organization adopt to manage supply chain cyber risks effectively? This question is on the minds of many in today's increasingly interconnected world. Let's dive into some of the tools and strategies that can be used to bolster supply chain cybersecurity. Firstly, vendor risk assessments are a critical part of securing the supply chain. This process involves evaluating vendors on their cybersecurity practices and protocols. By assessing the risks associated with each vendor, organizations can identify potential vulnerabilities and work with suppliers to address them. Another effective method is supply chain mapping. This process involves creating a visual representation of your supply chain, highlighting every link from raw materials to the end consumer. By mapping out the supply chain, organizations can gain a comprehensive understanding of where their data is going and who has access to it. This visibility can help identify weak points and potential areas for improvement. Implementing cybersecurity standards is another essential step. These standards can serve as guidelines for all members of the supply chain, ensuring that everyone is on the same page when it comes to cybersecurity. Standards can cover a wide range of areas, from password protocols to data encryption practices. However, these methods alone are not enough. Collaboration and communication within the supply chain are critical for effective management of cyber risks. Organizations need to foster an environment of transparency, where members feel comfortable sharing information about potential threats and vulnerabilities. This kind of open communication can help prevent cyber attacks and ensure a swift response if they do occur. It's important to remember that cybersecurity is not a one-time task, but a continuous process. Regular reviews and updates of these methods are necessary to keep pace with the ever-evolving cyber threat landscape. With these methods, organizations can create a robust and secure supply chain, safeguarding themselves and their customers. In the end, a secure supply chain not only protects your organization, but also builds trust with your customers, enhancing your reputation in the market. So, what have we learned today about supply chain management in cybersecurity? We've navigated a journey through the intricate world of cybersecurity, specifically focusing on the part played by supply chain management. We've discovered that it's not just a concept, it's an essential strategy for any organization seeking to safeguard its operations in our increasingly interconnected digital landscape. We began by defining what supply chain management in cybersecurity is. It's a holistic approach to securing all the elements in a company's supply chain, from the raw materials to the final product. It goes beyond mere protection of systems and data, extending to the relationships with suppliers, vendors, and partners. We then delved into the importance of this approach. In a world where cyber threats are a constant, an unsecured supply chain can be a weak link, leading to disastrous consequences. Supply chain management in cybersecurity helps organizations mitigate these risks, ensuring the integrity and confidentiality of their data. It also aids in regulatory compliance, as many industries have strict guidelines about data security and privacy. Our exploration took us next to the process of implementing supply chain management in cybersecurity. We learned that it's not a one-size-fits-all process. It involves assessing the organization's unique risks, identifying vulnerabilities within the supply chain, and developing strategies to address these vulnerabilities. It requires continuous monitoring and updating to keep pace with the ever-evolving cyber threat landscape. We also looked at various methods of supply chain management in cybersecurity. These include risk assessments, vendor audits, secure coding practices, and incident response plans, to name just a few. Each method has its strengths and can be tailored to fit the specific needs of an organization. By understanding and implementing supply chain management in cybersecurity, organizations can secure their operations, protect their reputation, and ensure their success in the digital age. It's a journey that demands commitment and vigilance, but the rewards in terms of security and peace of mind are well worth it.